Well, throughout the season, we have seen championship contenders arise and fall. Think Toro early on in round one. Ever since then, it's been these two, Rajic and Kevin, or Ruben and Kevin, sorry, fighting it out for the World Drivers' Championship. And tonight, Ruben can seal the deal if he outscores Kevin by 8 points or more than. And what a place to have it then in Las Vegas. I'll be your first commentator, Yale. Joining me in the commentary box is Will. Will, what are you expecting from Las Vegas? I mean, it's a high-speed track, but it's also got some technical and Mickey Mouse chicanes. And it seems like there are some technical difficulties over there with the second commentator. We'll go down to the pit lane there, where once again, Nedzo, how's it looking over there? Have you found a flashlight? Because it is a night race.
I mean, I have, and I've also brought my biggest puffer jacket. I've decided to take a leaf out of Arsene Wenger's book with this one, because it is freezing, and that will affect the drivers down here in the pit lane and out on the circuit. This track is known for being cold. The race here in 2023, I think, was the coldest race in Formula One history since the 1978 Canadian Grand Prix that was held in September. 5 degrees, I think it was, and I think we're expecting conditions like that today. It will be basically like a slip and slide if you'd ever done one of those. You can choose whichever washing up liquid of your choice to place on the circuit, because that's basically what it's like driving on. And on a game like F1 24, where the handling model is, let's say, a handful. Yes, interesting, a handful. It will make it doubly so any sort of slips and slides you have, especially if you're on controller where you can't be as smooth.
Well, have we got any news from Will? Will, can you hear us? Are you live?
Yeah. I think I'm back now. If you guys can hear me now, hopefully, after resetting the computer, getting the technical problems done for qualifying. As Nilu has got the qualifying ban from that contact. If we remember, Yale from Spain on that dive bomb of it was on Ruben, wasn't it? And then forcing him off track. So a ban for him, and sadly he won't be up at the front. Well, unless he can have an awesome comeback. We've seen it before, haven't we? Actually, as you can come in on this one, we've seen that before. We've seen Remus. We have seen who else? Have we seen Mick. That's another one as well. These drivers are so talented that they can make their way up to the front, but this track here, it's interesting, and to see if they can make their way up there, well, that's all to play for this Grand Prix.
Yeah, and of course, like I mentioned in the intro, there's a World Drivers' Championship at stake. Then just going through the standings now, of course, Ruben leads at 21 points out of Kevin after the events in Spain, and just going through the entire season, I mean, it's a bit what we expected from Baku. Kevin and getting the measure from him in terms of qualifying, but then in terms of race pace, you know, there's been races like Canada where Ruben picked up the jackpot, the full pot then, while Kevin only picking up 11 points. Is that Bahrain or Qatar? Then there's Qatar as well, I remembered. Ruben picking up 16 points, Kevin 3. So once again, it's just those small mistakes from Kevin which are putting him in this position where he needs to win this race. And yeah, he needs to win. It's essentially that, because if he gets outscored by Ruben by points, that's it. That's done going into Abu Dhabi then. And in terms of constructors, I mean, Alpine won it a long time ago. Red Bull and Racing Bulls are still locked in a fight, both on 152 and 117 points respectively. Williams and McLaren also very close to 83 points for Williams, 80 for McLaren. So, you know, I love a good championship fight, Will, but I also love it when there's fighting for the midfield.
Yeah, me too. I've seen it before in Imola. We had a huge battle for P5, I believe it was. So that was an awesome battle, and that was when we had Kevin and Ruben for the lead of the race, and that's when we got the awesome racing lap action on the last lap of the race. But sadly, they all both came together. But thankfully, Ruben did manage to keep ahead. Anyway, yeah, as we're saying, I do love that rear fight, because it really creates tension in the back of the field. As I say that, Daisy there has a snap on the rear, but seems to be okay. I don't know if Daisy's in the lap.
I would assume so. because not a lot of battering. That corner is very crucial because it leads onto this long straight. I think it's like 2 kilometers long, if I'm not mistaken. Certainly coming up to it. I'm sure Ned Zodan in the pit lane can confirm or deny. How long is that? I mean, it's a Vegas strip. How long is it?
Well, I know that the FIA rules say that no straight can be longer than 2 kilometers, so it won't be 2.1. I think it's 1.9 because it's just that's why at Baku you have the fast left-right section, because if they didn't have that, it would have been too long. But obviously it's flat out, but it's still technically corners, so it basically nullifies it to the 2 kilometers bit. But yeah, that's why it is. As we've got a new driver to the top of the time sheet. Oh, and then Kevin just decided to beat him.
Yep, Kevin, his teammate Eden Jones. Then I think we've seen him a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken. Timo, I think Kevin has given Timo the sack after his not so great performance as a teammate this season. It'll be interesting to see where all these drivers are next season. Of course, if you do want to sign up for season 9, 10, I've lost count. Season 9 it will be. Wow, we're coming up to season 10, guys. That is crazy. Anyway, right, yeah, if you want to sign up, join the Discord. It should be linked in the description of the YouTube channel. Yeah, anyway, predictions then, Will. For not only qualifying, but also just like the race in general. Not necessarily top 3 per race, as that's very hard. But for me, I would say Kevin just takes pole, because it's Kevin. However, we cannot forget about the man in P2, Tia's Korsman. I looked at his form recently, and he's been in the last 3 races, 2 wins from the last 3 races, and that was win and pole position. Twice 28 points in Qatar and Spain, and once 12 points in Imola. What's that, like a P4, I think? Yeah, that's P4. So never lower than 4th place. In the race, or in terms of points scored. So yeah, we can't count him out, and that would be another driver fighting for the championship next season then, hopefully, if he races that season.
My predictions are obviously going to be Kevin on pole. That's obviously, there's probably no doubt about that one. But I probably can see Tiaz maybe being up at the front. But, I think Ruben, will take it second, and Toro third. Toro, he's just had an unlucky season, hasn't he? That's just the other part, and I'm sure season 9 he'll go again, and he'll come back stronger. We know Toro, but he doesn't give up a fight, does he? So I think Toro is going to be third on the grid, and I can actually see that as just a finishing order for the top 3 as well, unless we have a huge surprise, as always.
I mean, surprises won't be anything new, let's be honest, this season. It's been full of them, but I think the best part of the season has been the standard for racing and the action. I mean, throughout the season, there's not been a boring race.
Oh, that's what I love as well. There's not been one single boring race. We talked about it was Portugal. We were like, we don't know, because it's quite an open circuit, and we're going, it might not be the best race, but yet these guys still managed to pull off some awesome racing action. I mean, once again, here we are in Las Vegas. It's tight, but it's very, there's quite a few straights, so I can still imagine we're going to get some awesome battles with the front 3, 100%. But who's going to be out on top and who's going to be staying ahead in all these corners, well, that's to find out soon, isn't it?
Absolutely, and like you said, the long straights, the flying, which makes the DRS so important because it's worth so much lap time. You really don't want to lose a second, which Nedzo, this is a question to you now. Will we see less people go in for the undercut? Because despite being on fresh tires, without DRS, you're probably slower than people on like 10 lap old mediums who do have DRS, right?
It's a tough one because obviously it's medium hards around here. That is the strategy. But I've also found out from certain drivers that I've talked to before the race that the mediums only do around 6 to 7 laps. So and the hards can just do can do the rest of the race. So if the mediums do degrade that aggressively, and if that is the case, or if he was just waffling to me, then an undercut could be a good strategy, because yes, DRS is quite powerful around here. I'd say you probably gain about 6 or 7 tenths, which is more so than probably any circuit on the calendar. But I believe that if you were to come into the pits and go into a new set of tyres, especially when everyone else is degrading, if everyone else is on around 50-60% worn tyres, maybe it's slightly less than that, maybe 40-50% worn, then I think you could easily gain the time back, even if you're not in DRS. And also, if you come in packs, this is something that they do in NASCAR, where they do pack racing on the super speedways, where they're all bunched up together. You'll have allegiances between teammates, between manufacturers. So, and they all come in together, and they all give each other. Well, they wouldn't give each other DRS in NASCAR, but they can give DRS to each other here by just helping each other. So, I don't think that's necessarily a problem.
Yep, so of course it also depends. Safety cars are very much a possibility around here. It is a street track. After all, the wheels are tight, and this is one of the spots where if you go side by side through that little complex then, as Kevin now starts his lap, but if you go side by side there, first the left, then the right, then the left again, you really need to leave quite a bit of space, because, I don't know, Martin, can we go on board with the Mercedes coming up to that turn there? Yeah, here. Right here, this left-hander is so mean because it invites you just to shut the door on a driver behind. But if there's just a pixel front wing there, both of you will go into the wall on the right, or at least facing the wrong direction. So I would say that's a prime recipe for disaster, and then also the safety cars.
Yeah, 100%, and that's an area we need to keep an eye on for the racing action, because as you were saying, it's a way to squeeze people out, and that's what we want as a fans, but for the drivers, it is their worst nightmare. So it's going to be interesting what racing action we will get, and there are plenty of corners where we will see it, as Kevin's really spinning those rear tyres, just trying to get all of that temperature. He is purple sector 2, so he's already going up on his time, and we can just expect him to lead the pack even more with a faster lap time. But you've got to keep an eye on his teammate Eden Jones to see Timo has possibly got the sack. But yeah, oh, there we go. Tiaz with a 130.0 in the McLaren, so he's looking strong as well. But Kevin, I'm sure he can beat it, can't he?
Well, banging his wheels a bit on the wall now. I think he's going to pit then, so he was down on his time then. But what a time by Tiaz now, 30.8. I'm just trying to see, I want to say that was done with no slipstream. Of course, slipstream can help around here, helping your teammate out. But wow, honestly, if we see a 129, that'd be absolutely incredible, and I would love that, because a 129 around Vegas is absolutely insane, right? I mean, I don't think I've driven Vegas on this game yet, because I only drive the trucks where I have league races on, but I remember last year's game, I think like a good lap was a 134. So, yeah, of course the game's a bit quicker, the cars are quicker, but yeah, this is... yeah. Incredible qualifying pace.
Yeah, I think they are, and that's what's like even better, you know. But the handling, as Nedzo was saying earlier, is close to terrible. So, be able to, you know, get all that high speed and control the car well, that's something else as well, isn't it?
Yep, and it's what we've seen from qualifying to the race. Sure, there's some drivers which might have fantastic one-lap pace, but when it comes to managing the tires and managing the ERS, they're just nowhere in the race and eventually fall back.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah. Yep, we've all been there, but there's one man who's been there a bit more. Is now the stake is, I wouldn't say necessarily held him. Never mind, he certainly did hold up Eden Jones through the final couple of corners. And I mean, it's also, let's talk about the starting grid, because I think from like P16, P14, something like that, the cars are behind the final turn. They're like pointed, the grid slots. And it's also a short run down towards turn 1. So this track has a lot of goofy features.
Yeah, 100%, and that's another bit, isn't it? On the start of the race, well, you know, being round the corner is not the thing you want to have, is it? You've got to try and angle your car right if that's the case, but obviously there's no formation lap on this, so you are unable to do that. So you've kind of got more of a turn, and it's making more effort actually just trying to get off the line, whereas you could just go straight, can't you?
Yeah, it's a lot like Imola, where first place points towards the grass after like 3 meters or so. So you're actually off better being in second place. So what you gotta do, you just gotta point straight. Right, Kevin's gonna come up to it now, and you should see it very nicely. But yeah, you just want points straight, and as late as possible, you want to make the turn then. Obviously to avoid the cars, but like you said, if you turn and accelerate, as we know, you got to be a whole lot more careful on throttle.
Yeah, that's another bit. You have to be really careful around here because especially when we see the all the pits or the tyre changes come in, they're going to be cold tyres. They're not going to be warm, are they? So the outlap really is going to be crucial, and the inlap is crucial as well when the tyres are old and they're ready to go. So both the outlap and the inlap will be interesting to see how the cars will adapt to that, and also the drivers as well. And that's what I'm quite looking forward to actually in this race.
Yep, and Nedzo was talking earlier about tyre wear, and that's something you need to adapt to as well. You know, you might have to. Oh, there's a Ferrari off. Is that? There might be Vast. I'm not too sure. Anyway, Kevin, it's currently 1/10 quicker. This qualifying session has absolutely flown by, as we've just been yapping about strategy and these drivers just needing to keep it consistent for. I think it's 25 laps around Las Vegas then. But Kevin's only got a couple of corners to go then. He's got a very crucial braking zone and the turn in. Mounts the curb very nicely and gets a good run. This time he does not hit any walls, but is he coming in? Or is this just the line you take? No, he's
coming in. Yeah.
So once again he loses time then in the final sector. It's got to be then. Nedzo, can you compare sector times for us between Tiaz and Kevin?
Tiaz and Kevin, I can. So Tiaz is they are 2 thousandths away from each other in the first. No, actually, they're not. They are. Tiaz was faster in his first lap than his second lap. So actually, Kevin was 300ths faster on his fastest lap. He was. Oh no, I've got that wrong again. Sorry. Tiaz was 300ths quicker in the first sector. Then in the second sector, Kevin was 17 thousandths slower. Then in the final sector, it was Tiaz ahead by a tenth.
Alright, interesting.
He's all of his time in this last sector, Kevin is.
So, could that mean he's running higher downforce or higher wings, better said?
Potentially. I mean, that could be the case, or it could just be not confident, because that last section is basically about how many balls you have, not how many balls you have, how big your balls are, essentially.
That's impressive.
That's a very good way to explain it, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's...
I have four, I don't know what you guys talk about.
Alright, big man. The size of peas or what?
No.
Back to qualifying then. We've got less than 2 minutes left then, as the two McLarens are... I don't know, let me check if they're in a voice call, because this might be... McLaren. They're not in a voice call on Discord. So you're going to have to take over, as our stream is...
A
PowerPoint slideshow right now? Okay, I think it sorted itself out.
Okay.
Alright, there you go.
Everyone was on our lap, so you're lucky.
Yep.
Eden is on his time lap now. But...
So one of the McLarens is on lap, isn't he? Well, sorry, yeah, I think he... No, they're not. They're both on an out lap, so it didn't matter that moment.
The second one just won slipstream, and that is Nicholson. Nicholson yet to set a lap time, and Nicholson's no slouch, ladies and gentlemen. He's very much a Nilu. We speak of Nilu, who's got a qualifying ban alongside Ryan. So what, starting last, might not be a bad thing. Avoid the carnage going through turn 1, 2, and also the first or after the first long straight, which we're gonna get up to. But now Tiaz on his final hot lap of the session. Then can he get within the 129s? As a commentator, I'm meant to be unbiased. But just for the sake of the league, having someone who can lap Las Vegas in under 90 seconds is ridiculous. Heavy braking zone 3, beautiful on the curbing. You want to use the curbing to rotate the car. Snap of oversteer though on the way out, pushing out this corner, very tricky. So much load on the front left then. Gets the turn in very nicely though. Nicholson is right up his arse then, and he's going to be benefiting from the slipstream down the strip then, as now you've got a bit of a S section here then. Towards, there's a lot of heavy braking zones, aren't there? Well, I mean, you've got turn 1, you've got turn 3, you've got this, and then of course you've got the next turn, fighting with the steering wheel. all the way through the apex, and we'll see he's barely up on his time then. He is up 4 thousandths, ladies and gentlemen. He needs 28 thousandths to get within the, or he needs 29 thousandths to get within the 129. And he opens the DRS, which is actually only for about half the straight. They've really shortened down the DRS zone here. And now slam on the brakes at about 100 meters then. Beautifully done then. He's taken a, I want to say he broke a tad bit later than Kevin then. We'll have to see what Kevin's times are. I think Kevin is getting a slipstream from Aston Martin. Looking at the minimap now, Tiaz up to the line then. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1:29.8, and what a lap that is. Can Kevin respond? That is the question. He's got a lot of VRS left to play around with. One Nico-san went, where's Nico-san? Nico-san P5, so not bad for
It's invalidated
at all. Oh, Kevin invalidated. Kevin in P2, and this must be the largest gap to pole we've seen all season.
Yeah,
Unless
that's
Ruben
interesting.
can do something about it.
That's interesting. Here he comes now up to line. What's it going to
Ruben can
be?
do something about it.
And he can, and so can Toro as well. So it's a P2, P3, knocking the Red Bull down the order now into P4. So that's made it interesting, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Ruben picks up 2 points. Qualifying P2, so now all he needs to outscore Kevin by 6 points in the race.
That was interesting. That one, I thought, well, we were both confident, weren't we? Kevin was going to get pole position, but it's a new shock. Tiaz, well, it's not really a new shock, is it? He's a quick driver. He's always been up at the front, but he's managed to beat Kevin again. He did it in Spain, and he's now done it once again here in Las Vegas. So that's going to be interesting. He's got both the Alpines in front. He knows he needs to beat Ruben. Well, he knows he needs to stay inside 8 points between him and Ruben. Otherwise, Ruben. Sorry, of course, yes. Yeah,
he can't let Ruben outscore him by 6 points in the race.
Well, we'd love that, but Kevin definitely wouldn't like that. So if that was to happen, we could confirm the champion in this race. So that's what's going to make it even more interesting as well. Can Kevin get the start he wants off the line? Well, I'm sure he can.
He just needs to stay out of trouble and let Las Vegas do what Vegas does best. Anyway, Tiaz on pole position. Alongside him then is the man who's in prime position for the championship. It's Ruben Huertas. My Spanish is quite muy bien. Anyway, well, now that qualifying's done, I'm going to say Tiaz takes the win. Out of Kevin, out of Ruben, and we're going to get 3 safety cars.
Wow, okay. I am definitely expecting quite a few safety cars. I'm going to go 2 safety cars. I'm going to say Tiaz for the win, Kevin second, third Ruben. I think Kevin's going to, we've got an angry Kevin now. We haven't got a happy Kevin. He's been knocked out of the top 3, and he's now eager to get up to the front. So what he can do in the race is going to be interesting.
We have the same prediction for the top 3. Interesting. Nedzo, any key points out of the race then here at Las Vegas?
Well, one thing I put it in the chat, but he didn't see it, is that Kevin's lap in qualifying would have put him second. So he has got the 1 lap pace. He would have only been 16 thousandths off of pole. So that's an interesting point to think of going into the race. He's got to gain 10 points now to be able to stay in the championship battle.
Wow, that is it's a big task. But it's not impossible, it's just a very tall order for the Dutchman then. But we hear the countdown, and that means the drivers are on the grid, and they're ready to go racing. Here we go then, Tiaz on pole position alongside Ruben. It's forward lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from Kevin, who's already passed his championship rival as Ruben Huertas dropping a long way down the order. I'm not sure, wheel spin or something, maybe just sleeping at the start. The lights were out very quickly. Kevin already up to P3, then challenging the top 4, but he's been pushed out wide by Nico-san. Nico-san, front wing damage on the left-hand side. The Eden Jones brand also getting overtaken. Both of the Red Bulls getting overtaken by the Williams. Now Kevin down the inside of Bradley, then that's a bold and risky move. Wheel locking. Kevin got the initial reaction time, but then just ran out a bit too wide through turn 2 then. And look at Tiaz and Toro then. Already a second to P3. Kevin, this is not what he needs. But tell you what happened to Ruben at the start?
Ruben didn't have a very good start, did he? But Toro did. Toro got up into second place. He's got Kevin all over the back of him this time. But who's that? That's I think that was Kevin's team with Eden.
Already gone.
Yeah, don't play zero. They're already taking out the track limits already. So here he comes now. Toro's got the purple sector 1. But caution further back. Have we got a safety car coming in? Yes, we do.
Virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car. They do say that sometimes, and then they do go, oh, it is virtual safety car. Okay, so that's a Ferrari of France. So we've seen these guys crash quite a few times, especially Imola when he got forced off. That was a qualifying ban for one of the Williams. I believe it was Bradley, maybe not. But anyway, yeah, that was a crazy start and not Ruben's start, that's for sure.
Wow, well, I don't know what happened. I mean, the 5 red lights were on, and then very short time after, they were out again. But Kevin, he managed to get alongside Toro. Maybe a snap of oversteer. I saw him going wide through turn 2. And that's how Nicholson, and I think Nicholson has got front wing damage. So Martin, let's go ahead and look at the second McLaren then. I think it's on the left-hand side of his car then. We should be getting a good view. It's...
No.
Hold up. It was very hard. I don't think he has damage. No, it is very hard to tell. Yeah, the inside of the end plate is quite black. That's the problem. And with the dark nature of Las Vegas. Here we go, then possible pit strategy. That medium Hans, of course. Neds are saying the medium's only lasting about 6 or 7 laps, which is quite a few less than I would suspect. Always some drivers into the pits then, probably for front wing damage.
Yeah, well, that's not the start that half the drivers want, but, you know, there's still quite a few laps to go. We're only on virtual safety car conditions, not full safety car. And here we go, we're back again, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like Nico Sun is going to try and set after Toro, but there's quite a gap between those two. Bradley is just going to stick on behind and wait for this opportunity to come. But as I say that, Toro's all over the back of Tiaz. It's a fight for the lead. Who's going to be out ahead this time? Coming in now to turn 1, and he's already done it down the inside. Toro goes for the lead, and that's the one of the Alpines slotting now into the front position, whereas the other Alpine is 9th. He's managed to beat Eden, but he's still got a hell of a grid to go. And as I say that, Toro's a snap from the rear, and it's really not helped him at all. But that didn't make much of a difference because Tiaz had to slam on the brakes.
Is that cold tires? Well, his tires will certainly have felt the effects of that. And look at Nicholson, desperately trying to get within 1 second of the top 2 then. Kevin also moving up to 4th position, getting ahead of Bradley down the straight then. But Toro leads despite locking his rears and drifting into the heavy braking zone. And can Tiaz fight back? Then these two going hammer and tongue then. The wrong Alpine is currently leading, but I'm all for it. Here we go then. Ruben up to P8 now, so he's recovering from his abysmal start. Then Tiaz back into the lead, then Toro seeming like he does not want to waste time fighting into corners. Kevin still my Nikos, and Kevin needs to use the DRS as a leapfrog to get within 1 second of the top 2, but for that he needs to be close enough to the McLaren. And Nicholson, you can see, struggling a bit already then. So I think this is Nedzo, you were talking about problems with tire warm-up then, because it is so cold. They must be feeling it already now, because this is the first proper racing lap then. Of course, lap 1 the safe car got called out then. So the tires are slowly coming up to temperature then, as Toro and Tiaz struggling out of that turn there. I think that's turn 11 if I'm not mistaken. Could be 9.
Got the track map because, you know, this is quite a big track. I'm trying to remember all the corners as well. But as I say that, Toro now on board, dives down the inside. He's got the DRS, and we said this is what's going to happen quite a few times. So does Kevin. He slots ahead, and the other Williams of Daisy goes ahead of his teammate Bradley there, and skimming the barrier as well. See, that is also the other thing we talked about. Eden is staying back a bit, and that's actually a crash, wasn't it? I believe it was further back, but with Rubini. Who is that who crashed? Is that a Ferrari again or not?
I think it was the two stakes just wheelbang quite a bit, as now the house of Ryan starting at the back of the grid then, looking to make up a move on the stakes. And look at Nilu already up to P12 then. So the two guys with the qualifying ban moving up the order by 8 and 6 positions. And of course losing the most would be Vastas losing 9. Ruben up to P7 now, so slowly making amends. But what I found interesting is that Nicholson and Kevin, they're only 1.1 seconds away going onto the straight. Oh, as Nicholson now looking the race just like Toto did, just in a different turn, then side by side through this little Mickey Mouse section, trying to get the better run. And there's the front wing damage on Bradley. I think front left then of the Williams has got or has not got an end plate rather. Kevin desperately trying to get within 1 second of the two leaders.
And it's getting tense now. Nikos loses not one, but 2 positions and drops him down to 6th. But now Ruben's putting pressure on him now. And we know that Ruben has got the pace. And we know Ruben will try and make the move wherever he can. Because he wants to try and get ahead of Kevin. He doesn't want to leave it to the last lap draw in Abu Dhabi. I mean, that'd be great for us, but not for him. But Tiaz is all over the back of Toro, and he's still waiting for the opportunity. That DRS train is just going to work again. As I say, that Bradley has now had a bit of a slip of the rear. That is a big problem, isn't it?
Yep, they're certainly struggling. And of course, Bradley, Martin, if we can quickly go off board the Williams, just so we can confirm the front wing damage. On the left-hand side, we have yellow flags behind for a Haas, which is, I'm assuming, pointing the wrong direction. And yeah, I don't think the Williams has an end plate on the left hand. Yeah, it doesn't. So that must have been the car I spotted. Now, of course, that will hurt him in the turns. But on the straights, the Williams, already being a rocket ship, is going to be a mega rocket ship now. You can see Stay Daisy get. Oh, and that is a big set from Nicholson, taking out Kevin. Kevin, who was in contention to get within the leaders. Nicholson. That almost seemed to be on purpose by him. He likes Kevin by, but he just did not break. That's not even like, oh, I broke 10 meters. Like, no, that is a full-on send to kill him. And tell you what, that certainly put a dent into Kevin's championship hopes. I mean, it wasn't looking fantastic for him, but he was way ahead of Ruben and closing in on the leaders, and that might have sealed the deal then, as, I mean, he's going to need a safe car, and he's going to need a bit of drama for Ruben and pretty much for everyone in front of him.
We've seen that before. We've seen Nilu go into the side of Ruben. Now, Kevin has got a bit of taste of that medicine and has now been sent by Nikos. And as I say, that Toro slots ahead now with the DRS and is now taking the lead once again. But this is, well, it's not going to be, what's his name? Ruben, sorry. Ruben will be jumping up and down in the car. He's now P5 from dropping back from P10. Tiaz all over the back of Toro. As I say that, yeah, Ruben is going to be jumping up and down. His rival has been dropped further down. He's behind his teammate. And all Ruben really needs to do is get even further up the order. But whilst this is happening, Tiaz and also Toro both hard at it at the moment now with the first DRS. And it looks like Toro got a really good exit, but DRS power comes right into play. And here he comes now, diving now into turn 5, I believe. Yes, turn 5. And he's going to stay all over the back, but it's not going to be enough this time. And he's just going to wait it out until the next DRS.
Yeah, once again, Tia's going into none on his DRS mode, just waiting for the right time then to make the move. Toto really struggling with the tires in lap 6. This is what Nedzo was saying, so Toto is feeling the effects of it. Tias has managed to keep them in good nick from what we've seen through that low section there. Stay Daisy has managed to catch up to these guys. And then in P4, it is Ruben Huertas, and I imagine we'll see the change of the lead now as Toto goes deep. Tias needs to take avoiding action. No one's got grip out here. The word grip is not in the vocabulary of the Las Vegas F1 track, ladies and gentlemen. As now, Stay Daisy, what an exit compared to these two that they got now. Down the strip there, 2 of the 3 drivers have got a DRS, and it's the Williams who's making the most use of it, despite being a non-ERS. Absolutely rapid down the strip.
We thought Daisy was going to be on for a podium in Spain, but is Daisy on for a podium here in Las Vegas for once? But Tiaz is going to snatch that second position. This is allowing Toro to jump even further up the order, and he's going to race side by side. And it looks like Daisy's on the outside line, not giving this position up. But Tiaz down the inside line. The grip, as you were saying, is not working at all. And Tiaz with the inside line has a snap of the rear, but stays ahead of Daisy. And Daisy's not going to like that at all. But Daisy played the waiting game, saw the opportunity, and took it with that DRS. And further back, I'm sure we'll see the exact same. But looks like Tiaz didn't have enough gap to catch up to Toro. So with that, Toro stays ahead another lap on lap 7.
Those two fighting have brought Ruben right into, I think the gap was 1.3 seconds the last time I saw it. Let me just confirm that for you guys. Yeah, the gap 1.2 seconds, and it is now less than a second, in fact. So those two fighting has brought the championship leader right back into it. Meanwhile, Kevin behind Ramos in his attempt to make his way back up the field.
And it's going to be interesting whether he can do it. Toro goes a bit deep as well again. So that corner, is that turn 14? Yeah, turn 14 is not Toro's corner. He doesn't like that at all. It's just really not a very strong corner. And that's where we've seen lots of people go deep after probably outbreaking themselves, I'd like to say. But Daisy has got DRS, but not close enough. And there we go, TL slots ahead for the lead of the race. Can Daisy do the same? Toro shuts the door and just manages, this is turn 14, so I'm not going to bet off, but whatever turn that was back there. Anyway, Toro closes the door, stops Daisy from coming through. Ruben is now joining in. So, Yalo, can we see, we expect to see, Toro give the position up to Ruben to make him champion?
With Kevin down in P7, I highly doubt it. Maybe if Kevin is leading or something like that. But I know Ruben, he will want to win it on merit. As hold up, Tia's car suddenly ghosted, so he must have gone very wide or hit the wall maybe. But what I want to point out is Daisy is effectively running 0-0 wings out of the top 4, by far the best top speed. I mean, in none. He was pulling a gap to Tia's, who was a medium, both of them with DRS. So, Stay Daisy, we're going to now see through these corners. Toro is probably going to pull a bit of a gap as these low wings are going to come into play then. And of course the front wing, the front wing damage was on the other Williams. But yeah, Tia's then ghosted for a second, so I don't know if he hit the wall or something must have happened with the McLaren.
Yeah, it's something like that, isn't it? But it's interesting. If you watch Toro, he really hasn't pulled away, has he? Because of the amount of DRS here and how long the straights are, really, you can't pull away unless, obviously, an accident's happened behind you. But Toro, he has got a bit of a gap. He's got 3/10. It's actually closing now because Daisy's going for the lead of the race for the first time now. And Daisy's done it here on lap 8, heading up into turn 14. Tiaz down the inside. And the Alpine drops in further side by side. Toro's not giving this one up. He gets knocked from the side, but Tiaz sticks to the inside line and he's done it. He's managed to stay ahead, and that is Toro dropping another place. But Ruben has now got DRS coming up soon. But look at that. Look at the lead Daisy has got.
Yeah. And once again, that just shows Daisy running incredible straight line speed. But he should lose it now in the middle sector because after this right-hander, it gets all technical. Further behind though, you've got Bradley still fending off the two Red Bulls as Kevin managed to get past Lucic and Remus not too long ago. When are we going to be seeing the pit stops then? Lap 9 out of 25, I assume they should be soon. It's soon, no?
Well, I would hope so. Nedzo, I don't know if he's in here actually. He is.
Nedzo,
when can we expect to, see these pit stops come up then?
Well, I'm not sure because I was told by some people that were coming in after 6 laps, and then, to be fair, Freddie has done that. He did say that he was going to do that before the race. But it seems that everyone else is not really following that advice. Again, it could be down to which groups you're in who's in what slipstreaming group. And when you've got guys like, for example, Stay Daisy, who is about to pull out of DRS, and he nearly pulled out of DRS there, he's so fast. You want to be in that kind of group, and the drivers who are going to lose out from this are going to be Toro and Ruben, because although that Toro is making the overtake on Tiaz, they're still too close to come in on the same lap. So, whichever one of them, if the tyre wear or tyre degradation, Stay Daisy just gone off, but with the tyre degradation and stuff, I think that there could be some problems here. But I think Tiaz is about to come into this lap, and so is Stay Daisy, as I say that.
Yep.
Daisy,
So
but that's
both of
not
them
rear. That surely was the grip, wasn't it? I mean, I can only imagine going off.
And of course these two can now then DRS swap on the right lap just to make sure that they maximize it, and I think both Williams are in.
That's a big double
for Alpine now.
Oh, this could be interesting to see what Alpine can do. I can imagine they will be pitting this lap. Usually it's the lead driver that goes ahead, but with these guys, I don't really know who's the lead in this. It's going to be interesting. Look at that snap of the rear from Toro. He's losing grip. He definitely is losing grip. And he needs to pit, and Ruben is getting even closer this time. And I can see a DRS move coming anytime soon. But who's going to pit first, well, I don't actually know if it will be Ruben or Toro.
They've had this problem throughout the season, right? The drivers are so close to each other, especially when it rains out. One driver needs to go one lap longer, and they tend to be very hesitant about it. No one's saying, I'm a box a lap earlier, I'm a box this lap. It seems like they're always waiting, like, oh, do you want to go? No, a bit like McLaren and Lando Norris, a couple of seasons ago. But they need to set a line, and right now, I mean, Ruben is leading the championship, and as it stands right now, by quite a bit with him leading the race, and that might have been strategic also. Of course, beating the lead car, he can. Okay, I was gonna say he can pit now, or he can dictate to pit. And Toro pits now. Yep.
That's going to be interesting.
Maybe his tire wear is worse. We'll see where it comes out compared to guys who've already pitted. Kevin, I reckon Kevin's only hope is staying out until there's a safety car.
As we say that, Remus smashes into the barrier, but not obviously going to damn it. But look at that, Kevin is losing the rear there into turn 1, and he's really sliding those tyres. His grip is absolutely gone. It's not on new tyres, is he? He's on 10 lap old. So next one we can expect to see pit. So can Ruben as well. So can the rest of the grid, really. It is definitely pit time. And Kevin, I don't know why he didn't go in. Has his teammate gone in? Yeah. Okay, so his teammate's gotten in, but was there enough of a gap? That's the other question as well. But well, hopefully we can expect to see Kevin, try and get a better in lap than the other drivers, and then hopefully stay ahead. But keep an eye on Tiaz. Tiaz was the one who was leading out of everyone. No, it wasn't. It was Daisy, wasn't it? And Tiaz is ahead of Daisy after Daisy almost spinning out. But yeah, keep an eye on Ruben, see where his tyres are. So Remus's tyres are gone as well, just sliding out that corner there. So it is interesting. Yellow flag already, and that's a McLaren of Nico-san, it looks like. Crashed there with the XX scan then, and the Mercedes loses his front wing.
Retro safety car.
And there we go, retro safety car deployed. So, that's going to be interesting.
No, never mind. Kevin's ahead of his teammate.
Kevin is ahead. His teammate pitted a lap before. Yeah. I believe that's why Kevin didn't go in. But obviously Kevin didn't get the main say. Ruben dives into the pit lane. Luchek, can we see him going to the pit lane? Kevin, 1,000,000% is going to the pit lane. And where he's going to end up, will be interesting as everyone's on a bit of a reduced pace. So where is he going to go? Tiaz comes across the line. Where's he going to be? He's going to be up to the top. Yes, he is. And he's fighting there with... he can't do it, obviously. Osman there with a 10-second time penalty. And Ruben has planned it out so well that he stayed ahead of Tiaz.
Wow, that's crazy. And look at Kevin, despite pitting under the VSC, still behind his teammates. So it's not looking good for the Dutchman then. I mean, I'm trying to think the last time he won a championship. Must have been before the years changed. And wait, hold up. I want to say the first season on F1 24.
Was it then? Wow, that's a long time ago, I have to say. Considering we were about to go, but we're back at racing again, and Tiaz is putting pressure on Ruben. He knows Ruben's tyres are going a bit old now. Oh, well, not obviously. They're a bit new, aren't they? So they're old as well. So the grip levels may not be there. But tyres definitely the grip. He's got 2 lap old. Yellow flag again in sector 1. And that looks like one of the Salvers, but look at that, there's Tiaz. Oh,
it's a Sinful again. Sinful again. It is one of the Salvers, but it's that corner. Nico-san's been off there twice, or Mercedes once, and now the stake as well. So, I don't know, they're just braking too late with heavy fuel or something like that, but something is catching the drivers out.
I mean, that's a question for Nedzo, really. Nedzo, as a track expert. Turn 5, is that really the hardest corner? Well, it seems it.
Well, we shouldn't be seeing drivers going straight on, but then again, the talent of Werner would make it a lot easier to do that. But I don't see how people are making mistakes there, unless they are just going slightly too deep and they're going into other drivers that I've seen with guys like Nico-san. It is confusing because I wouldn't call it yes, it's a hard braking zone, but I wouldn't call it one where you go straight on into the escape road, as TS is now challenging the back of Ruben. Let's hope they don't do what we've just seen with other drivers.
Here he comes now, TS down the inside. Is he going to make the move into turn 5? We've seen drivers going off, and it does. Oh my god! And it looks like Toro went into the back of Actually, no, we didn't. And that's a front wing that's been picked up.
McLaren, that was McLaren. I saw orange on it. I
definitely
swear I saw
that was 1,000,000%.
Front left
damage for Tiaz, and I'd imagine he went into the back of Ruben. So Ruben will be happy with that one, and so will Daisy as well. Daisy did actually escape ahead, overtaking Toro when Toro almost went into the back of Tiaz. But let's keep an eye on Tiaz's performance. Is he going to pit this lap, or is he going to try and wait it out? And it's happened again. And this time it is a crash, and it's a safety car. So this could be the chance for Tiaz to pit, but really it's not going to get him far up the grid, is it?
Luchek can pit now. and he'll come out probably P5.
Which is perfect for him, really, isn't it? And obviously you've got to keep a positive lap delta, but
I think
so
everyone's
is
gonna
everybody
pit.
else.
I think everyone's going to pit. I think Luzcek is going to come out in the lead.
And what tyres can they go on to? Medium? Or would it just be new sets of hard?
Mediums, yeah, less fuel so they can go longer. Luchek pitting, this makes sense. He's on old tires. What about the guys behind?
Is it going to happen? Ruben.
What time? Calm down to the Williams, please. Or to the Alpines. Yep, Alpine double stack. Alpine double stack. This is going to be painful for Toro then. Kevin stays out. Kevin is now in P3 then, so he's taking track position. I wonder, is he in a Discord call with his teammate?
I can only imagine. I can only imagine that. But it's double stack is interesting. Don't play zero. He's crashed. He's crashed, and that's. Oh no, he's not. He's just retired in the pit lane. I don't know why that's happened actually. But Nico's on into the pit lane as well. Which driver?
The Red Bulls aren't in a VC.
They're not.
I don't know. Does Eden Jones know Kevin is in a title fight and should let him buy and defend? If I would be Kevin, I would be atting the shit out of Eden right now in the general chat.
Or they're just not doing it in the server so they don't get pestered by me.
You kind of hope they'd try and... Well, you'd hope that Eden would give it away, but... well, we are under virtual safety car conditions, so that's another factor as well. But Eden won a good race as well, so he's not going to really just pull over at the side of the line, is he? At the start of the restart.
No, I think he's going to try and get the Williams first.
I think he will try and get the Williams and try and slow him up. Daisy has got the pace. Daisy's a very quick driver, so he can definitely stay ahead of all the others. But whether both the Red Bulls can do it, let's keep an eye on the Alpines. P9 and P9, there we go. So that's going to be, well, interesting on the Red Bulls if they can actually do it. Look at that, Daisy's chucking that car. And, well, I am interested to see what this restart can bring us, really. Will it be enough for Daisy to, get his first win? Or would it be that Kevin slots ahead of both his teammate and Daisy? I thought in just a moment's time under these when these safety car conditions finish. But it is exciting, this one. And I can't imagine this safety car will be out much longer. Is it when everyone regroups up to the safety car?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's we can expect back up once again. But let's have our usual chats. Gee, we haven't had many safety cars, have we? So we're a break for them. Well, I'm not going to use Yellow's one from last time.
Well, what's your favourite? What's your favourite ice cream colour? The favourite ice cream flavour, sorry. No, because we're in Vegas. What's your favourite type of gambling?
Ooh. See, I do like blackjack.
You like a bit of blackjack?
Yeah, I think it's quite a cool game. I like to play blackjack here as well. It's an interesting game. Vegas, I mean, I'd love to go to Vegas, I have to say. Maybe with a bit of cash in my pocket, but, might come out with a bit of cash as well. Tiaz. Okay, so we've got information on Tiaz, as he's put in the chat, that his game had frozen. That's how he had got damage, sadly, so that's why the front wing damage occurred. He is P10 at the moment. He has got the pace, but can he bring it back up?
I don't know, because also the reason why Ruben had a bad start was the same thing. He had lag. So if Ruben can come back, then so can Tiaz. But I think that State Daisy's 0-0 wings and Inshallah has basically put him into a position where he can win this race, which is incredible. I wish more drivers did stuff like this, where they just go balls out on a strategy. Also, although Luzcek isn't really the greatest driver, if those mediums do turn themselves on very quickly compared to the hards, especially old hards, he could be in the prime seat. So watch out for him. If he can pull off some early overtakes on guys like Remus and guys like Kevin, we could see a Luzcek podium even.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? We haven't seen that in a few times, but as I say, that safety car is getting back in. So we are getting racing once again as we are coming now up to the last corner. Safety car's going to run off ahead now. The amazing Mercedes AMG car. But here he comes now. Daisy is the leader, and can Daisy get ahead? Well, stay ahead of both the Red Bulls. What is Eden going to do? Is he going to let his teammate by, or is he going to fight it out with the Williams? Sorry. Well, this is all to play for. Daisy backing up the pack, telling his teammate when he's going, and it's going to be any minute. Now, I believe now it is. As you can see, the wheel spin of Eden, but here he comes now. Daisy leads the pack now across the line into turn 1. No one's really looking for a move yet, are they? Nilu, I believe it was, in P7. From a comeback from last to P7 is incredible. But here he comes now. He's P6 now. He's getting even closer up to the front of the pack. But Daisy has got the perfect lead and has already pulled out a 4/10 gap. But who is that? That's Remus. All up the back of Kevin. Kevin's got pressure now. But keep an eye on both of the Alpines. Ruben has got the start he wants. He's P7. But Toro hasn't. He's P9. So this is interesting what he can do and how he can make his way back up to the front of the pack. Bradley, 3-second time penalty. That is the all of the track limits. Bradley did have what's it called? Sorry, it was front wing damage, but he doesn't have it anymore. Eden all over the back of Daisy. DRS hasn't been enabled this lap yet, though. It will be enabled this lap. So here he comes now. He's all over the back of Daisy. What a snap of the rear from Daisy, and Daisy is still managing to stay ahead.
Just look at that. Tias has even gone ahead of Toro. So Toro, abysmal start. Kevin is going balls to the wall with the ERS, picks up the slipstream of the Williams, and he's going to try going from third to first in a matter of about 2,000 or 1,900 meters. And he's done just that, getting past his teammate and the Williams. Now he just needs to run away from the rest of the grid and pray that the Alpines get held up from Bradley, from Remus, and from these two here, Eden and Stay Daisy. Then can he pull a second? He'll have to be in the middle sector where we know Stay Daisy is low. DRS now enabled then, and we're on board with Ruben then, as struggling for grip there with the Williams of Bradley. Meanwhile, Eden going wide, inviting Remus in. Remus thinking the better of it now, trying to get the better run. Side by side, Tias all the way around the outside of Nilu, moved by the McLaren driver. Then Toto still stuck behind. Can he get past now? So Toto being a bit more cautious than Tias.
And that is interesting, these two. And look at that, there's a fight there. Ruben's got the outside line, but manages to do it. So does Tiaz as well. Tiaz fighting side by side Bradley. He's seen Ruben done it. He wants to do it himself. And Bradley's going further down the order. Toro looking, snapping the front there, but manages just to keep the car steady. And Nilu, whereabouts is Nilu? Sorry, Nilu's 9th. He was 6th, actually. I thought he was going to be higher up, but he's dropped down to 9th. But Bradley is having an absolute shocker and dropping further and further back. But Remus is under a lot of pressure now from Ruben. Ruben's got the faster tyres. Remember, Kevin, he has done his teammate, but he hasn't done Daisy yet. Daisy is still ahead.
Yeah, Stay Daisy must have gone past Kevin on the first DRS straight then. Kevin then, look at this, even with DRS, to be fair, he is in non-era, so charging it up then. Ruben still behind the Aston Martin of Remus then, with TS also behind him. Looking left, looking right. Where's the space? To the left it is then. It's going to be a drag race. Look at TS behind, draining all the battery, trying to get involved in the slipstream then. He's going to look to the inside. Remus tries to shut the door on him. Down the inside, the McLaren goes off turn 1. Toro also looking to pick up the pieces now. Remus goes a bit wide now. Toro squeezes or gets squeezed all the way to the left, and he's going to do what TS did. One lap ago to Nilu then, around the outside, and that's another brilliant move. These three making their way up the order as Eden Jones now getting past his teammate. Kevin will be looking in his rearview mirror thinking, where the hell did these three come from?
It's getting interesting now. Eden obviously doesn't know that Kevin is under this huge title fight. But it's interesting now because the two championship contenders are neck and neck with each other. This is a battle for the podium, and it's getting interesting. DRS opportunity coming up in a minute, but Kevin has managed to get a better exit off the corner. Ruben, on the other hand, has got fresher, faster tyres. So, can he do it? Well, I'm pretty sure he can. He comes now, turns into the chicane, but here he comes now. In the DRS, I think it is along this part here. You can see it just around this corner. Can Ruben do it? Can Tiaz, can Toro join in this fight as well? I'm pretty sure they can. Eden all over the back of Daisy. Got the DRS this time. Is it going to be enough for the overtake? Is it going to be enough for Ruben to do the overtake on Kevin? It's already going to be one Eden, and Ruben just snaps out of it, and
who's that? Sorry, Daisy's managed to stay ahead of Eden. Eden putting a lot of pressure, but Daisy driving like a professional.
Daisy's doing this so well, and I absolutely love this. Just what Ed just said. Stick to a strategy. Oh, and they're going 3 wide through the final corner. Alpine, McLaren, Red Bull in the middle. Where did Tias and Ruben come from? They must have saved battery, because all of a sudden, Kevin now looking to get past his teammates, and Tias from, I think, P5 or something, P4, looking to take the lead. Those mediums certainly working for these guys, as Ruben is going to stick behind for just a bit longer. But this could be a recipe for disaster, as we'll already see Stay Daisy jumping over the chicane, and you might see how Stay Daisy dropping back a bit. Just wait till there's a straight line. It's now side by side between Eden Jones and Toro. Wheel banging between the pair of them through the chicane, now into the left-hander, where Toro had problems before. Eden going a bit wide, then Jones to the right, Toro to the left. Toro for amazing exit and uses a bit of battery as well.
And we've seen that Tias behind the safety car was in P13. He has now taken the lead of the race and has just chucked on a 7th, 10th gap between him and Daisy. And Daisy, there are a lot, I mean, that's a hell of a drive on its own. But here comes Ruben all over, and he's eager just to get by. He wants these extra points he can take for the championship, but Tia's under pressure. It's going to be maybe 2. Daisy gets held up by, and Ruben takes the lead of the race side by side now. Toro and Eden. Eden round the outside and slots ahead. Snap of the rear there from Toro. Well, Kevin, P4. He's not liking this at all. Well, Toro is actually ahead of Eden. I think it was Toro and Kevin who were making the fight. Anyway, but Ruben leads us now into turn 1. What a hell of a race this has been so far. And Tias, as well, both of them are on the medium compound tyres. So is Toro, and he's got the championship rival of Kevin ahead, and then Daisy. Daisy's picking up an awesome fight with these guys, but Tias doesn't give you this one up enough time. Here he comes down to turn 5. He's just going to stay behind. He's not going to make that lunge this time, is he?
Yeah, he wants to get us on that main straight. He's seen what happens down the strand. The only reason staying past him is because Ruben did not give any room for Daisy to move over to the left. Daisy just staying in the slipstream a tad bit too long, boxed themselves in, had nowhere to go. Further behind though, where is Kevin? He's meant to be the one profiting from all of this then. With only 5 laps to go then, he needs to start making moves then. He either needs a safe car or something. He needs something to happen over here in front of him, because right now it's not working for him.
We have only got 5 laps, as you said, and it is the most intense 5 laps we are going to see as well, because we want to see if Tias, who can catch up to Ruben, if Toro can overtake Kevin, and can Daisy get his first podium here at Las Vegas. But here he comes now down the inside. Kevin is under a lot of pressure. Toro makes the move, and Toro sticks it, and there we go. Toro up to P4. The medium compound tyres working once again, and here he comes down. Toro is up at the back now, well, trying to join up into Daisy, but Daisy is fighting now up at the front with Tias. That gap with Ruben is now a 5/10 gap. We've seen that gap go down before, and we've only got 4 laps racing left, and it's getting interesting on who's going to win this race. I can't actually predict who's going to win this race because it keeps swapping.
Oh, it's so hard to tell. Kevin, he had no more battery at the end of the straight. That's why Toro was able to get the move done, already going into the braking zone rather than in it. Really struggling with the ERS management. He's giving it his all, but he's also frustrating himself, revving out the engine, wheel spinning, lighting the razor up much, and just using a bit too much battery then. But it's the only thing he can do. He can't sit behind now with 4 laps to go after this one then. Will we see a late charge by the championship contender? Because right now one is at the front, and Ruben is doing a fantastic job, but he's still got pressure from behind.
It's getting interesting because Tias is recharging. He's going for the move. He's got the DRS opportunity coming up now. He doesn't even need it, and he's still side by side. And look at that, Ruben hops onto his battery, and that absolutely launches him up ahead.
Well,
but it's not going to be enough because Tias, the DRS train has started, and he's done it this time. Can Daisy do it as well? That's going to be the interesting bit, and he can. Daisy down the inside now, and here comes Toro watching his contact, and Daisy goes round. Daisy has crashed, and he's dropped further back into B9, and that's not what he wants at all. But look at that, Daisy behind his teammate, he was up on the front, on for his podium in Season 8, but it's not enough, because here comes Rumini. VD's done him as well, and that is straight into the pit lane. And what a shame it was from just that contact to side by side. Ruben will be happy with that one. But Kevin, under pressure from his teammate Eden, go for the switchback. He's got the DRS opportunity now. Here it comes, but Kevin got the better traction out of the corner. I got a better line, and he managed to do it in time. But that was crazy there, with only 3 laps to go.
Let's see the ERS levels of the top 4, Martin. So Kevin, 40%. Total's gone wide. Total's got front damage. Front left going very slow and comes back onto the circuit, right on the racing line, and chops ahead across Kevin. Rather picks up a 10-second time penalty. But I don't think that was the smartest re-entry by Total. Just completely chopping across Kevin there. As Total 20% battery, and he's lost quite a bit. TS, I think has he pulled DRS? It's 9/10, 1 second. Where's the DRS line? It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. Where's the 9/10? No, Ruben just staying in it. But Total, Kevin needs to get past him now. I don't think that was the cleanest Total could have done there. Kevin moves up into P3. Can he close up to the leaders now? Look at Eden steaming by Total as well. The 2 Red Bulls charging past the McLaren.
Both Red Bulls slot ahead of Toro. Toro is not having a race at all anymore because of that 10-second time penalty. Dropped him further down the order. But Ruben's on the... He wants the win. He needs the point. But he's got Kevin in behind. This is what we want to see, and I want to see this. But Toro's crashed. Toro's crashed, I think. Oh, he's retired in the pit lane. I think he's gone into the pit lane, I believe.
Oh,
look at that, Remus. Remus and Bradley side by side. Remus tapping him, giving him a sniff there, but it wasn't working at all. Eden is now trying to fight up, but Kevin is slowly catching Ruben. The championship contenders are getting close once again, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen this in Imola. These two come together. I really don't want to see it again. Toro, with frustration, has retired from the session, sadly. And look at this. It's getting tense, and I can't wait to see what this last lap can bring.
Wow, 23 laps, ladies and gentlemen. And this championship is coming down to the last 2 of the second last race. Tell you what, well, as a commentator, I want this to go down to Abu Dhabi. I want like a 5-point gap in Abu Dhabi between these two. It's looking very unlikely. But boys, at least keep it alive. I mean, have a bit of sympathy for your boy. But already Ruben, I mean, he had the bragging rights in qualifying out of Kevin. That, honestly, it's a good chance that was his lowest qualifying position of the season. I don't know why he's using battery. He needs to save it. He's on 25%. There we go. Now into none. Then he has a little look on Ruben. Then he needs something to happen in front of him, and he knows it. He just needs to manage his ERS for the entirety of lap 24, so he can punch it lap 25. Then, and you can tell that's what Ruben's doing, because Kevin's joining or closing up to him just in medium. So for every braking zone, Kevin needs to go down to none, and he's doing just that into turn 1. Down to none, charging up the battery then, and maybe even down this straight. Just, it's all about ERS management now. But all of a sudden, what that Red Bull Cup from his teammate is saying, fuck off to your championship host, Kevin. I'm the boss around here. Down to P4 you go.
And he's just, well, that's really shown Kevin up, and that's really helped Ruben, because he's actually on the back of Daisy, as I say, 132.1 fastest lap. We've got an angry Daisy back after the crash with Toro. Look at that snap of the rear there from Eden. Eden's losing grip slowly, but Kevin has recharged his battery. Maybe this move was on purpose because he's got the slipstream, especially for the DRS as well. But it's going to be 1 position Kevin will gain, but will it be 2 to go for the championship fight to stay ahead?
It needs to be at least 2.
Yeah, it has to be like that. And going into the championship fight for Abu Dhabi, what the hell, that would be the best race this championship has ever seen. Maybe not, I don't know, that's one best I would have seen anyway. Here it comes now, DRS opportunity is coming up now, and this is going to be 1 position, maybe. No, and look at that.
They're all staying behind on purpose. You saw
none of them are making the move.
He's closed the DRS so early. He wants to be in P3. Then P3 is arguably the best place to be. Kevin could not get past his teammate. Then as Eden, I must say, Eden is driving this very smartly. If he would be in the position that Kevin is now, he's doing very well right now as a reserve driver with front wing damage, I believe, on the right hand side, struggling with the tires as well. And we might see here then through the right hander, Eden. It's very hard to tell if he does have an end plate. Kevin now trying to get past his teammate. He knows as well. Yep, there we go. Eden front wing damage. So it's huge to get ahead through his part of the track, and he does get ahead. Now, he had to use a bit of battery, but Kevin is in the prime position. To be fair, Ruben, not in a bad position as well. P2 then. It's a tricky one to call. Anyone in the top 4 can win this race then. It's between the 4 drivers, or the 3 drivers, which in the last 3 races have been so clear of everyone. Eden, as a reserve, joining in late. Can Tias keep his run up of great form? Can he make it 3 wins in 4 races? Can Ruben be champion? Or can Kevin take the championship fight all the way to Abu Dhabi then? We'll find out in the next 2 kilometers or so, ladies and gentlemen, as we go on to the Las Vegas Strip for the 25th and final time then. Ruben P2, Kevin P3, who's gonna get it? Tias leads the way, 3/10. Look at that gap just cut down. Kevin is going full send now, so is Ruben, and Ruben wants this move done sooner rather than later. Kevin has nothing to answer. He's got no batteries, used all battery at the start of the straight, must have made a mistake. Ruben then, out of the final corner, is leading. Can Tias do anything about it? Then he's thrown his battery against the wall. Ruben is Season 8 world champion in VDRL, and I think it's the 3rd or 4th time, and he picks up the fastest lap as well.
Well, Ruben has got the win and he's got the championship as well. Congratulations to Alpine for the Constructors and also the World Drivers' Championship here. But we have crowned our 2025 Season 8 champion, and that goes to Ruben. Just so unlucky with Kevin as well, just staying in behind, but really he didn't have enough after being held up by his Eden there. But the fight that was, Yale, I mean, what a season we've had as well.
What a season, I mean, we'll tell you what, Will, someday we're going to binge watch every race of this season, you know, just to ease the pain. The fact that in 1 week's time, exactly, Season 8 is going to be over. Arguably the best season of VDRL. And tell you what, I mean, I said this at the end of last season. I said these exact words. If this sets the standard for next season, give me more. It set the standard. And I want this to be the average race. I don't want this to be a one-off. I want every race to be fighting for the lead. Safe cars. There were 3 safe cars as well, so I'll have that prediction very much. We gotta start tracking these predictions.
That was something, and I remember watching. Actually, I watched our first race in
Monza.
Sorry, where was it? No. What was the one after? Azerbaijan. Obviously,
the season.
race,
Yeah.
Yep. That's what the exact same words you'd said. And I remember that was one of the best races just to open the season, wasn't it? And my God, if this is gonna keep going for the future upcoming seasons, then
on F125.
On F125, well, that's the interesting bit. What will the handling model be? Will it be better or will it be worse? And if it's worse, that would be harder for the drivers to yeah, probably will be, won't it? But
yeah, we've seen drivers before struggle.
Jigs.
Switching between F1 games. Jigs being, of course, a prime example. Probably the fastest driver on F123. All of a sudden, first season on F124, struggling to be in the points then. As I know Jigs' driving style, he hates flicking, if I remember correctly, and flicking is worth tenths and seconds on this game, and I hate that, I will say.
100%. And let's go through the classification. So, your champion of Season 8, Ruben, won the race here, and that was an unbelievable drive from him. Second goes to sorry, no, that's not Nico-san. Second place goes to... God, why isn't it not loading? I was trying to refer onto the old thing. Give me a second. Apologies, everyone. There we go. Sorry. Tiaz second. Third goes to Kevin. Fourth, Eden. Fifth goes to Remus. Sixth, Nilu. Seventh, Bradley. Eighth, Werner. Ninth, Ryan. And 10th, Rini. Take it away, Yellow.
I actually don't have the things up. The stream was paused for me.
Let's check.
No worries, okay.
Stay Daisy, Osman, Franair, Maverick, and then Todo, Nicoson, and Don't Play Zero, and Vastes with the DNFs.
Yeah, I was pulling up the YouTube stream.
Yeah, so what a race we've had, and we will now move on to the exciting parts, the interviews.
Oh. Wow, well, what a race we had once again tonight. Ruben coming out on top and also becoming champion. Will, I know it's not the season finale yet, but this really follows the theme of the rest of the season. We're going to start with the man in P3, the man who fought so hard. And once again, it's just not enough then. Kevin, what a shame. What a race you had, of course, getting sent into the Shadow Realm by the McLaren then, coming out and still having a small chance at the win there. What happened? I mean, I was expecting 3 wide going into the final couple of corners on the final lap, but you were nowhere near. What happened with your ERS? It must be that, right?
In the last laps, I was fighting with my teammates, so that compromised me a little bit. So I didn't have enough ERS. But to be honest, I didn't have the pace today. Tias and Ruben and Toro were way faster than me. I made a lot of mistakes. I was struggling with rear locking. I think every time I went to the last corner of the long straight, I locked up every time. So yeah, I had no pace today.
Well, we had a look at your run through the championship, and tell you what, it is the races where something happens to you. I'm trying to think, obviously Imola being stand up the example, but I think it's Spain. Hold up, let me pull it up so I don't say something wrong here. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing I said at the end of last season here, Canada and Qatar.
Yeah.
If you can't just clean up those mistakes, there's a fantastic driver behind that. The same one we see in qualifying week in, week out.
Yeah, I will try my best next season to minimize the mistakes.
Well, any questions to Kevin then?
Well, Kevin, congratulations on second. Obviously,
Third.
it's not just third.
Or second in the championship, third
Second
in the
championship.
race.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
Championship. Sorry. I meant I should have cleared that. In the championship, I mean, I know we haven't ended the season yet, but it feels like, doesn't it? What are your expectations for season 9? Can we expect to see you as another contender once again, and then hopefully be the champion?
Yeah, my goal is definitely to become champion again, because the last time was like 1 year ago, season 4, when I had the clean sweep tier Friday and tier Sunday. But I think this game, I don't like it, F124. The handling is way too sensitive. But
Yeah.
maybe next game, maybe it's better.
Well, let's hope so, and hopefully we can bring better racing action for them as well. But Kevin, also with your teammate Eden, there weren't team orders going out with them? Because us in the country box thought there was until he came back and properly striking and was going for a battle, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was actually quite annoying, because I think if we didn't fight, we both would have had maybe a chance to get a win. But he had very good pace, so at least this time I had a teammate right behind me. But
Ooh.
no,
Timo.
Timo couldn't
Have you already had dinner tonight?
Sorry, Timo couldn't race because he fell on the streets from his bicycle, and he was hurt a lot. So I hopefully he will come back next season.
Well, we wish Timo a speedy recovery. Kevin, congratulations to P3, and we're very interested to see what you can do in next year's game. Moving on to the man in P2 then. Last 4 races, 3 podiums, 2 race wins. Tias, I hope you're here next season so you can continue this championship fight you've been having with Ruben and with Kevin. This race then, I believe your internet was not really on your side though. Can you explain what happened with the front wing damage?
It wasn't my internet. Like my game froze, as in like the screen just had the same frame for like a whole second. So I just like slammed into the barriers because I couldn't see where I was going. So that lost me quite a bit of places, and I got damage from it. But luckily the safety car saved me, so I could pit again. And I think I did a really good job after the safety car. I'm actually really happy with the overtakes I was able to pull off. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't win because I didn't really know how to get Ruben behind me because the one who's P1 is just not winning the race. That's clear.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know how to get into second without doing something dirty. I don't like to like park somewhere and wait for them. That I don't think that's fair.
Yeah.
So I tried to get as big of a gap as possible, and I think I got a decent gap, but it wasn't good enough.
Yep, and you know the race went fantastic, but can we talk about that qualifying lap? A 1:29.8. Surely there's like the perfect lap.
No, no, it wasn't. It was actually very messy. I was just pushing as hard as I could. I just wanted to get at least a 29, and I was doing pretty good throughout most of the lap. In like that slow Mickey Mouse section, it was a bit messy. But it was fine. And then the corner before the very long straight, I lost like a full tenth. I went
wow.
really wide and it was really messy, but my last sector was so good. So that let me get to a 29.8.
Kevin and Ruben hearing this with their mouths wide open, like, what the hell? Anyway, Will, do you have any questions for Tias?
Yeah, Tiaz, congratulations, second place for the race. Let's say that. But yeah, with those medium compound tyres you moved on to, did you feel really confident with them? Because you shot after, well, literally just after the safety car, you went from P13 all the way to P1. I mean, that's something else.
Yeah, I really liked the mediums in the first stint also. I wasn't really happy with how the hards felt. I tried to do an undercut and it didn't really work at all on the hards, but on the mediums, I don't know. It was just very comfortable for me. Braking wasn't as big of a problem and I could just push.
Perfect. And let's move on to our champion here of season 8, Ruben. Talk us through what it feels like to be a champion once again.
Yeah, I mean, it feels quite good this time. At the moment, the last race, it feels good. Even though I didn't work enough out of the races practicing because I didn't have time mainly. On the races, on the last races I worked a lot. I was pushing myself to the limit, and sometimes wasn't enough, but in another sometimes it was enough to get some wins, podiums, and very important points.
I mean, could you say that this season 8 could have been your most competitive season? I mean, we've had about 4 contenders, 4 maybe 5 contenders for this lead, and then obviously it narrowed down just to you and Kevin. I mean, could you say it was your most competitive?
Yeah, it was. It was. To be honest, it was very hard to get at least a win or a P2 because of the competitive drivers, Tias, Kevin, Toro. It was a lot. It was very challenging for me to fight and to go on there.
Well, congratulations on the championship and congratulations on the race win. Yellow, over to you.
I think you've covered it all, Will. I'll be completely honest. I think I want to save. I do have a question in mind, but I do want to save that for the end of season interview. Apart from that, yeah, you've covered everything from the race to the championship. Yeah.
So
Nice
I believe that's it, isn't it? So join us next Friday where we are going for the finale round in Abu Dhabi. Our champion has been confirmed. Our constructors champions have been confirmed. This last race will just be a nice, fun and entertaining race to watch. So we will see you at 6 p.m, 7 p.m, obviously Eastern European time, but 6 p.m. UK time. And we hope you have a good night. Until then,